Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala barakatuh. Alhamdulillah. Thank you very much for your work on the paper that I gave you. I gave you one piece of paper which I folded, and I told you to write some comments, what you saw on that paper. Now I'm going to show you that paper, what is on that paper, and I have read all your comments, and I can tell you that you have not understood the purpose of perception. Because everything in life, awareness, fullness, living in the present now, at the spiritual, emotional, mental level, is all perception. That's why in Islam, it's very important for us to create good perception, all right, and wonderful perception. So I'm going to open this little exercise, and I've read through all your comments, and you will see this is what I gave you. All right, you can see this, all right. It is just a piece of paper which I tell you to write your comment, and here there is a square red dot. So your comment is what? This is a square red dot. All right. Some comment is a square red dot in the middle of the page. Okay. This square is not perfect. All right. The red color, whatever it is. So you are describing the red. I have not seen even one answer from you all about the white. None of you talk about the white. You see how big the white is? How big is the white? It is 99% of this paper is white. Only 1% is red. One little square red dot. But you describe the red dot with all gusto. All right. But none of you look. So this is where I'm telling you, you have this perception that is skewed. All of us, including myself, from time to time, we have to check, reality check of our perception in terms of how we're going to live in the present, because our perception will determine whether we are living in the present now, or we have the full awareness of our life, or the fullness of life in terms of our spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical, and also how we're going to use this Quranic concept of la khawfun wa lahum yahzanun to perfect ourselves as Allah Khalifa on this earth. He's up and He's Khalifa. So what I want you to do was to see this perception, because this paper is 99% white, but we did not see. So most important lesson first is that we haven't forgotten, all right, the gift of gratitude by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because we only see the bad things. We only see something small and we make it big. So if you do not see the whiteness of this paper, that means we do not see the gift of Allah. For example, very simple gift. As we breathe in, as we breathe out, it is a gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is a white part. As we go to the market, we buy the food. That is a gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As we look at the clouds running around, floating around, and you see the rain falling, Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, wa la ilaha illallah, wallahu akbar. You are seeing the glory of God. You are seeing the beauty of life. You are seeing so many things. As you play with your children, as you joke around with your friends, and have a happy, good life. Remember, in Islam, we don't want you to be boring people. A lot of people I see when the so-called practitioner of Islam, their face is so stern, as if they're going to die tomorrow. No, the Prophet is all smiling all the time. The Prophet see good in everybody, even the least of the Sahaba. He saw goodness in them. So, what did you see? You did not see goodness in our own perception. So we have to change. Now we have to see this white paper. So our answer should be, this white paper is 99% of the question that I have posed to you. So I am going to focus on the 99%, not on the 1%. So naturally we have problems. For example, we are working, we don't have enough salary. Our job is drudgery. We go to work, we go through the motion of going to work. Yes, but we have to earn a decent living. If you are not happy about our work, then work towards finding a better job. That means you start thinking, planning. How, I have to do this to get out of this job, to find job satisfaction. But you don't complain, shit. Everything is the word that come out from you was, with your co-workers, with your friends and all that, is something negative, like the word shit. This is very common. Everything seems to be shit. So people who use that expression, they are infusing their subconscious mind the concept of shitness. So and end up, what is their life? It is a life of shit. I've been very crude word, but this is the reality you see among the office colleagues. I've been interacting with them. I've been training thousands of people working together. And when I give them exercises on perception, they are not even thankful for the job that they have. They curse and swear at their bosses. All right? Why curse and swear at your bosses? Why be curse and swear at your life, of your present condition, but you don't see the glory of God, the beautifulness that He has given to you? We breathe, we are alive, we have food on the table, we have cars, we have so many things in life. You look around, all right? And you see many of the great scholars of Islam, all the great ulama, they live a very minimal life, all right? You will be surprised, all right? The teacher of our brother Sheikh Hamzah Yusuf Hansen, Muratul Hajj, he has only one box of worldly things: his jubah, his few clothes, and his comb, his mirror, and that's it. That's what Rasulullah have. Rasulullah only have one box of the material world. And Muratul Hajj also will have about 10 goats, and he's considered rich in Mauritania. And he's happy having the cow's milk, having some food, but he's all the time smiling. You see, they are all the time happy. They're all the time having the awareness, not seeing the smallness of this world, but seeing the glory of Allah. When you see the glory of Allah, you transcend this paper, you transcend everything. So that's why they have no fear of the future, because they know they are trying to lead a good life, and the future is Jannah. Our future is Jannah. So don't be fearful of this life in this world. We go through ups and downs in life. We go through all kind of problems: economic depression, loss of jobs, loss of loved ones, so many things that we have to go through. But remember, always see the goodness in everything. Always see the hikmah in everything. So what is important for us is to see that we mold our perception towards PIP. Remember this word, positive Islamic psychology, and use this to frame our living in the present. So when you look at something, we are stuck in a traffic jam. Good or bad? You get frustrated. You get frustrated, can you pass on to the other car? You can try to weave in the car, in the jam. You're not going to do any good. So that is seeing you are stuck in that situation. You are going to stay there for 2 hours or 3 hours in that terrible traffic jam. You can see in many cities, you are stuck for 2 hours or 3 hours in the traffic jam. And you're in a situation where my friend said he has to pee into a bottle because he's stuck in the traffic jam for 2 hours. All right? And there's no way to go. So what can you do? Can you just be stressed up, pump out all your stress hormone and curse and swear at the situation? Or you can sit back, relax, all right? Open your YouTube, view our PIP, Positive Psychology, Islamic Motivation PIP, and just hear 1 or 2 sessions of our talk, or whether it's our great scholars like Sheikh Hamzah Yusuf Hansen, or Abdul Hakam Murad, or Sheikh Abdullah bin Bayya, or Sheikh Tariq Ramadan. Just open their video, relax, hear what message, what positive message they have to give to you. And then you relax, and in between you can zikir. All right, as you zikir, you drive. Astaghfirullah al-azim allazi la ilaha illa huwal hayyul qayyum wa atubu ilaik. So as you drive, you see, Astaghfirullah al-azim allazi la ilaha illa huwal hayyul qayyum wa atubu ilaik. You see, so beautiful. You're connecting with Allah. So your stress hormone will be down, your cortisol will be down, and you go home happy. After 2 hours jam, you go home, you see your children, you see your wife, you see your family, or husband, you have a good hug. Alhamdulillah, that is life. What is 2 hours in the traffic jam compared to those people? Remember, every day in this 21st century, in this year, 2017, there's more than 1 billion people who have no food before they go to sleep. 1 billion, not 100 million, 1 billion people, especially our brothers and sisters, refugees from Syria, from Iraq, from Afghanistan, and so many places. They don't have anything. You have something to go to, you have a home, you have a family, so be happy, be grateful about it. See the whiteness, don't see the redness. All right, and there's more than 1 billion people in the world do not have clean drinking water. We have water, just open the tap, all right, and we have water flowing for us to drink and for us to do wudu. So be aware that in our life there are many other key concepts of which I'm going to elaborate in more detail, that is being able to understand the perception that we see the goodness in everything. This is the sunnah and the way of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the way and the sunnah of all the prophets. If you study the stories of all the stories in the Quran, it is how they are always grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and in situation where they are in very difficult situation, where Nabi Yunus, when he is in the mouth of the whale, he says, La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu minaz zalimin, and Allah releases him. So we also, for example, in our zikr, we can develop our own azkar based on the Quran, and we can recite. For example, I always recite in some certain situation where I'm faced with certain situation. You say, Astaghfirullah al-azim, allazi la ilaha illa huwal hayyul qayyum wa atubu ilaik. Or we say, La ilaha illallah, anta subhanaka inni kuntu minaz zalimin. Whichever. Have a personal azkar that you can recite a few times each day or many times each day whenever you have a situational condition that is not to your satisfaction. But remember, every cloud has a silver lining. Every failure, there's a path to success. Every evil, there's always goodness. So we choose what is good, we choose what is best, we choose what is going to make us happy and being achievers in this world. Inshallah, strive to become the Caliph of Allah. Remember the three key concepts of being the Caliph of Allah, which I have taught you. One is, inshallah, strive. Number one, strive to make ourselves good. Number two, help others to be good. Make this world good and pleasing for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and all his good creatures on earth. Inshallah, see you again in the next episode. Thank you.